You know, guys, I know it's been a minute since I last uploaded a video, and that's just because it's been extremely busy at work. I've been extremely busy with school as well, and a lot of cool things are on the way for me, I'm not gonna lie, but I didn't really have anything that interesting to talk about for like the last week or so, and oh god, this AI thing is just, it's really weird, I'm not gonna lie. But before we get into anything like that, there is one very important thing I need to do. So to the people who have been OGs on this channel, who've been watching since like Vanguard, and even before that, we have a little bit of a tradition here on the channel where somebody in the Call of Duty community does or says something off-putting, and that's a good way to say it. And we send them into a very special place, never to be seen again, with a bunch of other weirdos like that. And the culprit we have today is none other than the MW2 Ghost. And I'm not gonna lie, this guy's actually not that bad when you compare him to like Charlie Intel or Doug Dimmadome Warzone. I guess he made a bet or something with Sledgehammer Games, or he was very pleased with something that Sledgehammer did, so this is what he comes out with. Man of my word, at Sledgehammer Games logo tattooed. Oh good god, guys, there is some shit on this planet that is simply unforgivable, and this is one of them. I don't know what the fuck possesses you to do this. Fuck that. And to the people in the replies that are saying, oh my god, this is so sick, oh my god, you actually did it, you guys are fucking weird, I'm so sorry, but this is not it. And this is coming from somebody with a few tattoos himself. So to the MW2 Ghost, I'd like you to meet my double barrel shotguns with dragon breath and go straight to the gulag and do not come back. Please, not with this at least. And you know what, on the topic of just mindlessly worshipping a bunch of weird shit on the internet, there's been this new conspiracy that's been going around in the COD community that, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not too convinced on, but a lot of people are very convinced about this. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, this comes out from Modern Warzone. He says, Modern Warfare 2019 Part 3 players are reportedly finding real AI bots in their multiplayer lobbies. Do you think Call of Duty has added AI bots to the MW 2019 Part 3 multiplayer matchmaking, or do you think these reports are unfounded and aren't worth believing or looking into? Now look guys, I know this entire thing truthfully and honestly started out with Blame Truth. Of course, some people were talking about this beforehand on Reddit and on Twitter, but it was really Blame Truth that put out the first video about AI bots in Call of Duty multiplayer. And I'm just gonna be the one to say it right now. I personally do not believe this for a number of reasons, but I will say I am open to the thought of this existing and whatever evidence there is to support this. And I will say this. If this is true, if there are AI bots in multiplayer roaming around, this would genuinely be the death of Call of Duty, at least for me. Now, I've witnessed Call of Duty do a bunch of weird, dumb shit over the years, especially since 2019. But let me tell you right now, none of them have really been that horrible to the point where I need to specifically quit Call of Duty. And that's including SBMM, that's including seasonal content, and Infinity Ward's existence, and Joe Seacott's fucking forehead. A bunch of weird shit has gone on in Call of Duty. But if AI bots in multiplayer are real, I genuinely would quit Call of Duty for good. Like, that would be the one thing that would genuinely make me quit. Not because it's necessarily bad, but because it's fucking stupid and weird as shit, and I don't even know how to feel about something like that even potentially existing. Now, after Blame Truth talked about the possibility of AI bots and showing these clips of it, Narrow Cinema made a video about it, he even started his own hashtag about it, and I've seen quite a few clips. I'm not gonna post them here, you can go look for them yourself, but I'm not gonna lie, there is a lot of weird shit that you see about this. And like I said, personally, I'm not convinced. Why am I not convinced? Well, because I've heard quite a few conspiracy theories in the Call of Duty community that not only have I not talked about, but I kind of avoid just listening to or even giving the thought of to. For example, we know about skill-based matchmaking, we know about EOMM, I've talked about these things because I truthfully believe in it. But there are some things you've never heard me talk about, like skill-based damage, which was a big thing last year, and to be completely honest, it wasn't that I wasn't convinced about it. You know, I saw all of the clips and the evidence, and I read the patent, and I saw all of these videos about it, and I genuinely wouldn't put it past Activision doing this, but the evidence against it was a little bit more overwhelming. But then after that, I heard some shit about skill-based hit detection, And then you guys really fucking lost me when I heard skill-based fucking footsteps. I mean, guys, even the Scat Master, I have a point, you know, I have a threshold of how much weird bullshit I can take in my mind before I just simply shut off, okay? Like, you guys hear me talk about fucking scat. You guys hear me talking about milk and cow udders and Nicki Minaj and shit like that, fucking Lizzo. Even the Scat Master has a line where if you cross it, I'm sorry, but I just tuned the fuck out. So hearing about AI bots in Call of Duty multiplayer, of course, I didn't really know what to think, I didn't know what to expect, and I saw all of these videos about it, and while I'm not convinced of this fully existing, I will say, there has been some weird shit going on in the past that I've seen before, and looking at some of these clips, something definitely seems fucking weird. Now, can I say it's AI bots for certain? Absolutely not. I mean, there are two easy explanations for this, if we're playing devil's advocate. The first one being, maybe you're like the Korean fucking savage and you actually just reverse boosted into the point of oblivion where you see nothing but truthfully actual disabled people, and that is not meant to be taken offensively. Like, I'm telling you, you might have seen Korean savage in one of these lobbies if you look at the fucking scoreboard and shit like that. I don't know. The other explanation, perhaps you got into a lobby with an Infinity Ward fan, okay? Like, it's not out of the realm of possibility that the things you are looking at that look like AI bots are just Infinity Ward fans that fucking suck cock at gaming. And the third option, of course, is maybe it's AI bots. Now, I'm leaning more towards an Infinity Ward fan than the other two, but if it is AI bots, we need to understand why the fuck that's happening. And I'm not gonna get super into detail about this, but I will tell you guys that for as much as I don't believe in it, I still don't put it past Activision. You know, like, I've seen them do weird, scummy things in the past. I mean, skill-based matchmaking, just point blank period, is a rigged experience in and of itself. So would it really be within Activision's realm to put AI bots in the game to make people feel better about themselves and get kills on the map? Or if they're on your team, maybe they're there to punish you because you were doing so good and now you actually have an Infinity Ward fan on your team. Guys, the possibilities are truthfully endless as to why this may be the case if it does exist, and even though this sounds extremely ridiculous, we've seen weird shit like this in the past. I mean, there's AI bots in Ground War, that is a fact. There's AI bots in Warzone apparently, and that is also a fact. If you look into other games, AI bots exist within Fortnite, for example, and that is also a fact. So what is really stopping them from putting bots in multiplayer? And if you've been following Activision's moves over the last couple of years, then you would know the answer to this. Absolutely nothing. I mean, some way, somehow, if this equates to more money for them, they're gonna fucking do it. Now, I have no idea how this does equate to money, but one way I could think of is, like I said before, maybe you are so ass that there's actual AI bots in your lobby to make you feel better about yourself, to keep you playing, to the point where maybe you buy a bundle. Now, I've heard that theory thrown around multiple times, and that's probably the strongest one as to why this is the way it is. And if we're being completely honest, you know, I could totally see that being the case. And while half of the story is just this conspiracy theory existing, the other half is, well, what if it's true? Well, then people are gonna be fucking mad. Why would they be mad about something like this? Because in the past, we've had things like combat training. You can go into private match and play with bots if you fucking want to, but that's the thing. You play against bots if you want to. When you saw bots in Ground War or in Warzone last year, you got no sense of a rush by getting a fucking 3-piece on a bunch of bots. Smoking the ever-living dog shit out of Infinity Ward fans does not equate to fun. I completely understand where these people come from when they say, I don't want to smoke bots every single game. It's the same thing that happened with me last year, except they weren't actual bots, they were just Infinity Ward fans. And like I said, that's only one side of it. The other side is, well, what if that shit is on my team? If there's an AI bot on my team, I'm looking up to the sky and I'm asking fucking why. Why have I been chosen to have this imbecile, lifeless, mindless being on my team that is literally contributing goddamn nothing? Guys, the answer could be a variety of things. Maybe you did too well one match and now Activision wants to throw you some dog shit and keep you from continuing to win so that the other people on the enemy team actually have a chance against you. And to me, that is believable because they do the exact same thing with ping and skill-based matchmaking. A lot of people always talk about, oh well, there's no real argument as to why skill-based matchmaking is so bad. You're just mad you go against equal competition. The thing is, it's not equal competition half of the time. Half of the time, the way that they get me to lose a game is by giving me a bunch of fucking idiots on my team. Now guys, I'm very close to saying a bunch of cancelable offensive shit here on the channel with my motherfucking chest, and that just goes to show I'm actually getting heated thinking about this, because if the existence of AI bots is real in multiplayer, then I gotta ask, instead of being placed in my team, why don't they get sent to the fucking Shadow Realm with all the AI bots? As a matter of fact, why don't we just send them all to the gulag? They probably end up there anyways. With MW2 Ghost, fucking weirdo getting that dumbass tattoo. I'm so sorry, man, but it's the fucking truth. Guys, if there's AI bots in this game, the level of manipulation that Activision is trying to implement into your experience is absolutely ridiculous. Again, I'm not entirely convinced. Personally, I've never seen anything like that in a game of mine, but then again, I do look at the scoreboard at the end of the match and I see somebody on my team going 5-44. I can see that they're fans of MW 2019 and 2019 Part 2, so maybe it is safe to assume that there's AI bots in my lobby as well. And especially when you combine this with the Armory unlock system, where you need to unlock shit by winning, and then you have AI bots or just general Infinity Ward fans on your team going 3-94, of course, eventually you're gonna get annoyed because you're essentially getting cock-blocked from progressing in the game. And that's the way they designed it, by the way, so, you know, people do have a right to get mad if there's AI bots in their lobby just based on the fact that they're probably gonna lose the game. And on top of that, you know how in the real world people really do not like AI all that much. I mean, you ask ChatGPT for the answers on a test, I mean sure, good for you, but you go any further than that and you get into the manipulative aspect of it, AI is scary as shit and sometimes it's fucking dangerous, so it's no wonder that people don't want that in their game. But that's gonna do it for me today, guys. I'm curious to know what you guys think about this. Do you genuinely believe there are AI bots in Call of Duty nowadays in multiplayer? Let me know down in the comments below, and if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, hit the bell notifications to stay up to date with my newest videos, and yeah guys, it's been the boy Fooly. Have yourselves a good one. I'm out of here. Toodles.
This ain't in my body. Hey.